Remove that medal. You're not above the law in my courtroom.
Remove that medal? You're not above the law in my courtroom. The judge's words rang out like a slap, silencing the entire room. Everyone turned their eyes to the man standing tall in the witness box. Staff Sergeant Daniel Reyes, dressed in full formal uniform, medals gleaming proudly on his chest. His posture didn't change, not a blink, not a twitch. But the room could feel the insult hit like a punch to the gut. The badge in question, a small silver emblem with 3 engraved figures. The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier Guard Identification Badge, one of the rarest and most respected honors in the entire US military. And now a judge was calling it disruptive. The tension was unbearable. Rows of military families and veterans sat quietly in the gallery, some holding photos of their lost sons and daughters. A few placed hands over their hearts in silent support. Daniel had simply come to testify in a civil case, a dispute between neighbors, but the moment he walked into the courtroom in uniform, Judge Carlton Brenner's mood shifted. He ordered Daniel to remove the medal, claiming it could sway the jury and create unfair influence. But nobody in that room felt manipulated. They felt moved, because that medal wasn't about pride. It was about pain, sacrifice, silence, and service. Daniel looked straight at the judge. "Your Honor," he said, his voice calm but firm, "this badge doesn't make me better than anyone in this courtroom. It reminds me I'm not. It stands for the ones who never came home." The judge scoffed. "This is a court of law, not a battlefield. Either remove it or I'll hold you in contempt." Still, Daniel didn't move. For him, removing that badge in front of the families of the fallen would be a betrayal, not of the rules, but of the men and women who gave their lives without a name. That's when a voice cracked the silence. An elderly woman rose from the gallery, tears in her eyes, her hands clutching a folded American flag. "My son is buried at Arlington," she said softly. "That man walked through the rain and snow to guard him when we couldn't. You should be thanking him, not humiliating him." A ripple of emotion spread through the courtroom. Another man stood, then another. Gold Star families, veterans, widows, children. One by one, they stood in silent unity, facing the judge not with anger, but with disappointment. But the judge wouldn't budge. He struck the gavel again. "This is my courtroom. I will not tolerate a circus." Then, unexpectedly, Daniel slowly reached up and unpinned the badge from his chest. He walked calmly to the bench and placed it gently in front of the judge. "You want it gone? Take it," he said, "but understand what you're holding. That badge has stood longer than any ruling. It honors those whose names were lost to war, and now you're trying to erase them again." You could hear a pin drop. The hearing ended in chaos. The judge stormed out, and Daniel quietly exited without another word. But the moment was far from over. Someone had recorded everything on their phone. By that evening, the clip was on every major social media platform, news outlet, and veterans forum. The headline was brutal. "Judge orders tomb guard to remove medal. Gets confronted by families of the fallen." The video went viral overnight. Tens of millions watched the clip of Daniel placing the badge on the bench and walking away. People weren't just angry, they were heartbroken. Petitions exploded online. Veterans from all branches shared their support. Retired generals called for an official investigation. Even members of Congress issued statements demanding accountability. But then the real story came out, about the judge. Public records revealed that Judge Brenner had a long history of controversial rulings involving service members. He had previously banned military uniforms in his courtroom, dismissed PTSD testimonies from combat vets, and even called a Marine's burial too dramatic when neighbors complained about flag displays. It was all there, hidden in the shadows until now. Within 2 weeks, Judge Brenner was facing disciplinary review. Under immense public pressure and mounting scrutiny, he resigned before the month was over. As for Daniel, he returned to Arlington quietly. No interviews, no press tours. But one photo made its way onto the official page of the Old Guard. Daniel was back in uniform, walking the mat in front of the tomb of the unknown soldier. Precise, silent, unshakable. And there, once again, pinned on his chest, was the badge. It had never truly left him. It never could. This story wasn't just about a courtroom. It was about what we value, about what we protect. The judge had the robe, but Daniel had the respect. And in the end, respect can't be ordered, true honor doesn't need defending, but sometimes it must be stood up for, even when it's inconvenient, especially when it's uncomfortable. Because the moment we start treating sacrifice like a decoration instead of a devotion, we lose something bigger than a medal. We lose who we are. As Daniel left the courtroom that day, the people didn't cheer. They stood, every person, every row. A silent salute to a man who refused to let honor be erased by ego. Before we end this story, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear. If this story touched you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know how you feel in the comment.